Welcome back to Vintage to Sewing Time. And it's been a while since I posted a video. So some of you were around when this bed of potatoes was planted, and you might be wondering, like, what's up, what's going on with that bed of potatoes. And that was from last day, August, 13th of August, I believe. And potatoes would normally take about 6 months. I know some folks would tell you 120 days, but it's really 6 months that it takes for the potatoes to really mature and you get the right size. So I already reaped this side, and while I was completing that side, I thought to myself, well, it would be only fair that I put on the cameras for those who might be wondering what is the progress on these potatoes, that they would see that it is better to get something than nothing at all. And so far, they are not the biggest of potatoes, but they're definitely better than nothing, right? This is among the biggest that I got. And of about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, about 15 roots of potatoes. I probably got about 5 pounds. And it may not seem to be a lot, but that's 5 pounds that I don't have to go to the supermarket to purchase. So I am going to go over to the other side and see what I get over on that side. There was one thing that I recognized, which would add to my knowledge in terms of planting potatoes for this upcoming season, is that it is best to not have your vines running in a place where they can root themselves, because it seems as if the roots where the vines were rooting and running, that those potatoes were much smaller than where I find that they were more on the grill or on the rail right here, that they did not put down much rooting, so all of the energy went into the tubers. All of their energies went into creating tomatoes. So that's something that I'm definitely going to concentrate on. I know that all of us like to see, the vines, flourishing and, a lot of foliage from our tomatoes, but it seems as if it's best to have them up rather than rooting while they are vining going. So that's something I'm definitely going to concentrate on, so I can probably get some bigger tomatoes for the next season. But I'm really thrilled with what I was able to get. Some good size, and as I said, this is better than nothing. 5 pounds, about 15 holes is better than nothing. Today is a little bit overcast, and it's a good day to be doing this. I don't have much sun at the moment to deal with, but there's some rain that you see passing on the sea. Okay, so that's, seems as if it came out of here. I don't like the sign of that. That means that was not deep in the soil. I'm just gonna try to cut away first. So that was quite a heavy downpour of rain that we just had. This is the first root I'm going to tackle. Let's see what we get from it. Let's see what become of this root. All right, I think I'm able to see the head of one of them. All right, so this doesn't seem to have much in it. Just this little bitty thing. Just this little bitty thing. But I'm sure this can still do something when combined with other things, right? See, very small. I'm still grateful. All right, let's see if we can move on to the next root. All right, I just uncovered something here. On this side, there's one right here. Don't know the size of it, so I'm not gonna get too excited. It's another beady one. It's another small one, and it seems as if something already started eating it. Something started to eat it, but it's better than nothing. But I know what is the problem here. The problem is that this is right at the end of the bed, and so the vines came up and then went all over. So they were rooting all the way on the outside, not giving much sustenance to the tuber, because all of the energy was going into rooting. So I know that's an issue. That's definitely an issue that I'm going to concentrate on for my next planting. My next season of sweet potato, I'm a little bit wiser. All right, on to the next root. See if there's a root right behind me here. Yep, there's a root right here. So we're gonna dig this one right now. All right. See, this was closer to the trellis here where the vines were able to go up. So it's a little bit bigger than the ones over there. It's not as big, but still much bigger. But I believe what is the issue with this side is the sun, because I believe the sun was blocked out a lot once the vines got up to this side. So it is bigger than the ones over here, but still it's not as big as the side that was facing the sun. So there is another issue. Something that I was able to discover, which to me is a little bit surprising. I always thought that the banana tree, that the root of it was a bit fibrous, meaning that there's that clump under the tree. But I realized that from this garden, that the banana trees, their roots are all in my grounds here, which is very surprising. I am really surprised about that, because I always thought that it was so easy for banana trees to topple over that. I never realized that they sent their roots that deep and that far. It's like deep, far and wide. But from this ground I realized that, because my banana trees are all the way, let me just see if I can show you where they are from the garden. That's the banana trees there. My bed is here. I was not expecting the roots to be in this part of the garden, but their roots are all here. It seems as if I may not be getting as much from this side as the other side, again because of those issues that I've mentioned, but whatever I'm able to harvest, I'll be grateful for. This is another root right here. All right, so I brought the camera a bit closer because I'm moving up further away from you so that I don't have to shout too much, but it would seem as if I have my first prize of the day. The potato that I am now digging seems to be a big one. And I would be happy if that's the case, and I think I might be able to explain why. Because this part of the garden up gets a lot of sunshine in any given day. So I am not surprised while lower down in the bed, the sun, once it gets over the house, that whole area where I just dug is shaded for the rest of the day. So I can understand why those potatoes are very small. So let's see what we're gonna have here. And on top of that, the vine was running on the trellis head. So you had all the condition, I would say, all the right conditions for it to produce. Quite big. Okay, and it stuck itself in between the rocky part of the garden. All right, here we go. Uh-oh. I thought it was much bigger than this, but still, this is a good size. Thought it would have been bigger, but I'm grateful. Oh. On to the next root. What do we have here? So here you can see one of the roots from the banana trees. This is a banana tree root. You can tell because of the smell of it. All right. We're not talking about banana tree roots right now, right? We're talking about sweet potatoes. All right, this is not a root here. This is a vine. But a root, I believe, is somewhere close by. Let's see if this is a root. Yep. This is another root right here. Oh. Wow. Wow. It surprised me. Wow. It's a good size. Surprising. But I guess the sun is hitting this side also. And what I noticed with this side of the garden is each root is producing only one. The other side we had where, you know, there were much sun. One root, some of them had on 2, 3, even as small as they might have been. There were several on one root, but over this side I noticed that each root is just producing one, whether great or small. Well, I am through with harvesting my sweet potatoes, and it was quite a disappointing ordeal. There were some few high points, but mostly disappointing for that side of the bed that I worked on. The other side was very encouraging, but that second side, and I was able to assess the reason for the results, and so I have a better idea of how to lay out items in this side of the garden, and especially in terms of what I grow in this area, especially if I am going to have items produced on the front side that would be blocking the sun from the second side. So whatever is on the top side of the bed has to be plants that would thrive in a more cooler environment. So I am going to look for some plants for this area, especially because it is more shaded, and I believe I'm going to put back some sweet potato on that first side, because you can see that it's much more sunny on that side, and I believe that I'm going to go right ahead and replant right now. It is a little bit rainy, so I believe now will be the right time to do some replanting. So right after I have weighed in the produce for today, I'm going to just proceed with replanting some sweet potato vines. I have much vines around, so I'll just cut, you know, a selected few, and I'll put them back, maybe about 15, 16 roots back in that first side. All right, so, or I should say on that sunny side. So let's see what we were able to produce the weight. I took the potatoes inside to have them weighed because no place out here is level enough. So I was not getting anything that seemed adequate. Once I took them inside to a more leveled area, I was able to weigh in at 100. Sorry, I was able to weigh in at 6.8 pounds. Yes, 6.8 pounds. So that's an additional 1.8, 1 pound 8 ounces for just that side, that second side, which, as I said, is very disappointing, but lessons well learned. So I have a better idea for the next crop. As I said, I'll continue to grow on the sunny side, and I'll find another part of the garden to put in another supply of the sweet potato, another amount of the sweet potatoes. One other thing I'm going to do right now before I turn this camera off, I am going to harvest my ginger, which is this pot right there. Ginger is about 9 months or so. So 9 months would be about the mid of March. Today is actually the 15th. The 15th of February, so I'm gonna harvest them at least 1 month early and see if that makes a difference. And so I'm gonna, at least some of them, even if I don't do all, I'm gonna reap some of the ginger to this. The reason why I'm going to harvest some of the ginger to this, because I noticed that there's some of the leaves that are already dried. So I am hoping that that's an indication that it's okay to harvest, because I don't think it has anything to do with the lack of water, because it has been raining quite a bit, and I believe that the ginger has enough water. So the fact that some of the leaves are drying might be an indication that it might be time to start harvesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and see how much I can harvest. If it is difficult to get some out and leave some, then I'll just go ahead and harvest the entire pot. So you can notice these are very dry, very dry. All right. trouble in my garden. The pot is loaded with ants, and it would be very difficult for me to get my hand in that. So I believe I'm going to take the entire pot and just dump it out, and whatever I get, I get. But I'm not able to put my hand in that at all. It's completely loaded with ants. So I'm going to dump the soil over in my bed here. Oh. Ooh. Wow. That's a massive ant's nest. Ooh. Mm. These ants took over my garden, or took over that pot. Wow. Just by holding on to the pot, I am loaded with ants just by holding on to the pot for that few minutes, or for those few moments. I'm loaded with ants. There's no way I would have been able to put my hand in that to harvest those ginger. No way. Wow. This is mad. The ants are just as mad as I am at them. But this is mine. This is not yours. Let it go. Let go my pot. Ugh. I have to figure out a way to get to that, to get to my ginger. Ay. There's a war going on between me and these ants. Well, needless to say that there was a war going on with me and the ants. I had to even change my glove to some of the big plastic ones and try as much as I can to get off. So this is the big root that is here that is still loaded with ginger. I would not know exactly how much is here until I put this in some water and wash it off, because that's what you have to do in order to get in between all of the areas of the ginger, of the root really. Once they're all washed off, then you can see what you have. So this is a big root that I need to wash. I have some here that I already pull apart. Some pieces here. And some here. So I would say very, very successful with this ginger. Extremely successful for what I place in that pot. So I would encourage anyone who has some pots and some soil, I don't know about your climate, to just put some few pieces of ginger in that pot, and you'd be surprised by what you would reap, because I am really, really surprised and happily surprised for what these gingers produce. All right, so I'm going to pause the camera right here, and after I've washed the ginger, then I'll let you see what is the full amount. I might even weigh them in so that we can find out how much the weight of the ginger that we got. Keep in mind that ginger, I believe throughout, are now about $5 a pound. About $5 a pound, at least for where I am living, for ginger. I believe some places may be more or less, but for me, $5 per pound is for ginger. So this amount of ginger, and this will last me an extremely long time. I have one more bed. That bed, well, actually 2 beds, have a few more months on them, but between now and then I have more than enough ginger that I would not need to go to the supermarket for any purposes that I may have for ginger. That is the reason why we're being encouraged right now to just grow as much as we can, where there are any opportunities at all for us to grow, to just put something in the soil, because as I normally say, the only opportunity that the seed need is the soil. Once you place that seed in the soil, the seed will take over from there. Nature will take over from there, and you'll be surprised by what you would reap. All right, so I brought the ginger in because there's no level area outside to give me an adequate reading when I try to weigh the ginger. So I brought it inside so that we can do that. So let's do that right now. I'm going to first weigh my bowl so that we don't cheat. And my bowl is weighed in at about 8 ounces. 8 ounces is my bowl, so let's add the ginger to that. And I have made sure to wash the ginger that there are no soil to give us any false reading. I put a piece of the seed on the side that was among what we had there. Everything here is fresh ginger, just picked, washed, and weighed in now. And we were able to come up with 3 pounds, exactly 3 pounds, 8 ounces. Isn't that amazing? So our ginger is 3 pounds. We got 3 pounds of ginger after planting less than half a pound of ginger. Because it's about 5 or 6 pieces, about this size or slightly bigger than this that I planted in that one 20-gallon pot. And here we have about 3 pounds of ginger, and ginger is about $5 a pound. So this is about $15 worth of ginger, and I purchased for maybe about $2, $3 for the most. So I have a profit of about $12 worth of ginger. I believe that that's a winner any day. Anytime, any day, that's a winner. As I normally say, the only thing that the seed needs is the opportunity of the soil. Once you have the soil and you push a seed in that soil, that seed is going to grow. So I don't know really what stops us and what prevents us. Some people may say they don't have enough space, and because of that, there's not even any inspiration to just plant something small, because actually I started this ginger on my porch. The 20-gallon pot of soil was on my porch, and I just pushed some ginger into the soil, and once it started growing, then I just took it out to the sunshine. All that it needed after that was the sunshine and the rain. I did absolutely nothing after that. No fertilizer, no bone meal, no 2020, whatever fertilizer you may think of. None of that. I did absolutely nothing but to push those pieces of sea ginger into the soil. And here I have 3 pounds of ginger from one pot. And 3 pounds may not sound like a lot, but when you have to pay $5 a pound, 3 pounds is a lot, and that's just one pot. So I'm encouraging you, whatever you may be able to grow, even if you do not have a massive piece of land, you might be able to just put, some tomato on your porch. Do that. You may be able to put some pepper on your porch. Do that, because that's $1 or $2 that you would save from having to purchase in the supermarket. You will notice I also have some fresh ripe banana. This is organic. Same thing. I have banana trees in my garden also, and this is a bunch, an entire bunch that I cut, and I put it on the counter. It stays here and it's ripening, and as it's ripening, we're eating as much as we want, and extremely sweet, and nothing to worry about because there are no fertilizers that was placed or sprayed, no pesticides, nothing at all, just completely organic from my garden. All right, so I'm going to say bye for now, and again to encourage you to grow as much as you can in this season. And for as long as the earth remains, there shall be seed time and reaping time. As you sow, you shall reap. This is Vintage to Sowing Time. Until my next time, remember to like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button so that when another video is out, you'll be notified. Bye for now. God bless.